over 60, 5 bedtime drinks that lower blood sugar overnight, doctor explains shocking results. What if I told you that the reason your morning blood sugar is high might have nothing to do with your dinner at all, but instead something you're doing every single night without even realizing it? Before we go any further, I want you to do 2 things for me. Comment your fasting blood sugar number right now. And if you're trying to improve your health after 60, hit subscribe because I share practical, real-world strategies that most doctors don't explain in enough detail. Now let me ask you something simple. Have you ever gone to bed with a pretty normal glucose reading, maybe 105 or 110, and then woken up shocked to see 140, 150, or even higher, even though you didn't eat anything at night? If yes, you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not doing anything wrong. What you're experiencing is something we call the dawn phenomenon, and once you understand it, everything about your nighttime routine starts to make more sense. Between about 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., your body naturally starts preparing for the morning, and it does this by releasing hormones like cortisol and glucagon that signal your liver to release stored glucose into your bloodstream. This is completely normal. It's how the body prepares energy for waking up. But the problem is that as we get older, especially after 60, this system becomes less controlled, and in people with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, the liver can release more glucose than the body actually needs, which is why your morning numbers can rise even if your diet is perfect. And here's the part most people never hear. What you drink before bed can actually influence how stable your blood sugar stays during that overnight process. Not in a dramatic, instant way, but in a slow, biological way that builds up over time. So let me walk you through 5 bedtime drinks that many of my patients use to support healthier fasting glucose, better sleep, and more stable mornings, and then I'll show you 3 drinks that look healthy but can actually make things worse without you realizing it. Let's start with something very simple: warm unsweetened almond milk with a little Ceylon cinnamon. Now I know that doesn't sound exciting, but simple is often what works best. Unsweetened almond milk has almost no sugar compared to regular milk, so it doesn't spike glucose before bed, and more importantly, it contains small amounts of magnesium, which is one of the most overlooked minerals when it comes to blood sugar control. As we age, magnesium levels tend to drop, and when that happens, insulin doesn't work as efficiently, meaning glucose stays higher in the bloodstream. Now cinnamon, especially Ceylon cinnamon, adds compounds that may help improve insulin sensitivity over time. So what you get here is not a magic drink, but a calming nighttime habit that supports both relaxation and metabolism. Warm it up, add cinnamon, drink it about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, and just make it part of a routine, not a one-time fix. Now the second drink is one that surprises a lot of people. Chamomile tea with apple cider vinegar. At first it sounds strange, I get it, but there's actually a logical reason behind this combination. Chamomile is not just a sleep tea, it helps calm the nervous system, and that matters because when your stress level is lower, your cortisol drops, and lower cortisol usually means better insulin sensitivity overnight. Then you add apple cider vinegar, which contains acetic acid, and that compound may help slow down how quickly glucose is released into your bloodstream and reduce the liver's overnight glucose output. So you're basically combining a sleep-supporting herb with a metabolic regulator. Brew chamomile tea, let it cool slightly, add a tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar, and drink it before bed. But if you have stomach sensitivity or reflux, go slow or skip this one. Now the third drink is something very underrated: real bone broth. I'm not talking about flavored soup or processed stock. I'm talking about proper bone broth. One of the key compounds here is glycine, and glycine is interesting because it doesn't just support the body, it actually helps improve sleep depth. And deep sleep is where your body does most of its repair work, including insulin receptor repair and glucose regulation. So when sleep improves, fasting blood sugar often improves indirectly. Bone broth also gives a small amount of protein without spiking glucose, which makes it very stable for nighttime use. Warm it, sip it slowly, and think of it as recovery, not just nutrition. Now number 4 is where things get even more interesting: diluted tart cherry juice. Most people hear juice and immediately think sugar spike, and in most cases that's correct, but tart cherry is different because it contains anthocyanins and small amounts of natural melatonin. And this is where sleep and blood sugar connect again, because poor sleep is one of the fastest ways to increase insulin resistance overnight. So if something improves sleep quality, it can indirectly improve glucose control. The key here is dosage, not a full glass, just 2 tablespoons mixed in water. That's enough to get the benefits without overloading sugar. Now number 5 is fenugreek seed tea, and this one is probably the most powerful in terms of blood sugar impact. Fenugreek seeds contain a type of soluble fiber that turns into a gel in your gut, slowing down how fast carbohydrates are absorbed. That means less glucose fluctuation overnight. It also contains compounds that may support insulin function in a balanced way, meaning it helps when needed without overdoing it. You just soak the seeds in hot water for 10 minutes, strain, and drink before bed. Now, just as important as what helps you is what silently hurts you. The first thing to watch out for is flavored herbal teas. Many people assume they are safe, but some contain hidden sweeteners or flavor additives that can add small amounts of sugar without you noticing, and over time that affects fasting glucose. The second is store-bought golden milk. Turmeric itself is fine, but many bottled versions are loaded with sugar, agave, or coconut syrup, which turns it into a nighttime glucose spike. And the third, and this one really surprises people, is diabetic nutritional shakes. They are marketed as safe, but many contain fast-digesting carbs like maltodextrin, which can spike blood sugar, especially when consumed before sleep when insulin sensitivity is naturally lower. So instead of relying on those, simple real food before bed like nuts, cheese, or an egg is often more stable. Now here's what I really want you to do. Don't try everything at once. Don't overthink it. Just pick one drink from this list and stick with it for 14 days, and track your fasting blood sugar every morning. Because your body will tell you more in 2 weeks than any article or video ever could. And remember this, controlling blood sugar after 60 is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Small habits repeated every night can change your metabolism more than you think. Now I want to hear from you. Comment which drink you're going to try first. Subscribe to Healthy Wisdoms for Seniors for more simple, science-based guidance for healthy aging. And share this with someone who struggles with morning blood sugar, because sometimes one small change at night is exactly what makes the difference in the morning.